The DJI Mavic 3 Classic is now 20 weeks old, released in November 2022. I want to give you my honest long-term review, what it's been like flying this drone, should you actually go out and buy it, the good side and the bad. You see, the Mavic 3 Classic is not a newer version of the Mavic 3, you don't get any new features. The superior drone is the DJI Mavic 3 still, but what the Classic gives you, well, you save quite a bit of money. The Mavic 3 starts at £1,729 or $2,049, and that comes with the old N1 controller. It doesn't actually come in any combination with the new DJI RC controller, whereas the DJI Classic, you can pick this up for £1,529 with the superior DJI RC controller. So a significant difference there. You can also pick the DJI Classic up as a drone only. So if you have like a Mini 3 Pro and you already have this controller, you can just pick this up and that's the cheapest way of getting this. So about a £200 difference, but this comes with the M1 controller. This one comes with the RC. If you want to get the Mavic 3 and get this, you're looking at another $300. So this package gets pretty expensive. But what do you actually get as a loss when you pick up this compared to this? Well, the only main thing you're going to lose out with is the zoom camera. So this has the 28 times zoom tele lens on the front of it, and this doesn't. This just has the one camera. Now for me, out of say 100% of the times I'm using both these, I only use the zoom camera probably 20%. So it's not a huge loss to me. It could be for some of you. So if you really need like that zoom lens, so you might be doing roof inspections or you just want to have different perspectives, different viewing angles, then that zoom is cool, but I don't really use it a lot. So for me, and for a lot of you guys, that difference in price, it could be upwards of that $400 extra. This is a decent saving. Now in relation to everything else, this is the same drone. So every feature in relation to the video, the photos, all the spec you're going to get, every feature on here, it's all the same. The only difference comes on the Mavic 3 Cine, which you're going to get ProRes, you get 1 TB of internal storage, and that currently has no option on the Mavic 3 Classic. So if you need 1 TB of storage, you want ProRes for easier, smaller files when editing, you're doing really high level professional work, you want the best possible quality, then pick that up. But that drone's expensive, it's like $5,000. So I'm not really going to compare it because it wouldn't be fair. But we're just talking the standard Mavic 3 against the Mavic 3 Classic. That is the only difference, the zoom camera. So what's it been like flying this over these last 20 weeks? Well, pretty much flawless. You see, this has every feature that the Mavic 3 has. The Mavic 3 didn't have a successful launch when it was first released because features were not ready. We had to wait until the next year to get all of those features. But the Mavic 3 Classic comes armed with all of them. So recently we've had things like waypoints, we've had night video, cruise control, and the ability to control the speed of the drone all added to this. And those are features that we just don't have on like the Mini 3 Pro or the DJI Air 2S. So this has some fantastic features packed into it, and it's really great that you can pick this drone up for a cheaper price, but you're not losing out on any of those features. They're not locked just for the Mavic 3. They are available on this, and some of them features like night video is just a game changer. It uses like AI to automatically reduce any noise when you're flying at low light or night time, and it does this automatically for you, so you don't have to then go in and use your editor afterwards and try and use some noise reduction software. It's all done automatically and it looks absolutely brilliant. Cruise control, you can literally just go onto your controller, customize one of the C1 or C2 buttons, just hit that and the drone will automatically fly in the direction you set it. It'll just fly on its path. And this is great for framing. You can be like on the top of a mountain, you can be like literally framed wherever you want, and the drone will just come to you. You don't have to concentrate on like looking down at the screen and flying this while trying to get this shot. The drone's just flying automatically. You can just put your controller to the side or in your hand, and it will just continue flying. Awesome. And then waypoints. Waypoints is like you can automatically map your own flight path for this drone. So you can go onto your controller, you can look on all the map of where you are in the area, and then you can customize different points. So you can say, for instance, 5 or 6 points where you want the drone to go. And each one of those points, you can get the drone to do different things. So it might be take a photo, take a video, angle the gimbal down, do different moves, do an orbit when you're there. And it's basically absolutely so incredible for a lot of people to be able to use waypoints. I know there is a massive amount of people waiting every single day for waypoints to release on the Mini 3 Pro, And I just don't know if that's going to happen, but we have it on this Mavic 3 Classic. But the main thing you're going to use on here is this 5.1K Hasselblad sensor with Hasselblad colors. It just looks remarkable, and it's the exact same sensor that you get on the Mavic 3, which is really good, but it just destroys every other camera that DJI have got out there. So the quality from here is just unmatched. It's going to give you 90% more resolution than like the Mini 3 Pro filming in 4K, and over 600% more resolution than filming in HD. So it's just like looking at something in real life. And with the Hasselblad colors, it looks even better. Everything is nice and dynamic, loads of detail. It's just fantastic. So if you already have a Mavic 3 or Mavic 3 Classic, you'll know exactly what I mean. So the camera is just too good. It's like, how did it get any better than this? And I really like that this goes up to 5.1K 50 FPS, so I can slow that footage down and it still looks really good. So camera wise, no problem. It also films in D-Log, so it's like a really flat color profile that you can then edit, so it's really good. And then also it goes HLG, which is like a HDR effect. So for sunrises, sunsets, something where you got a lot of colors and you want really good dynamic range, and HLG on here is fantastic. Or you can just film in the normal color profile, and that always just looks good as well. It just depends how much you want to actually edit it yourself. If I want to crop into something, then because I've got 5.1K, I can crop in, and even if I crop in all the way to say HD level, I've not lost any quality. It's fantastic. So even though it doesn't have a zoom, I can crop in myself and it still looks fantastic. And no one has ever said, even on the cinematic video, some of that was cropped in, they said that quality looks crap. I can tell that's been cropped in. Nobody, not one person. So go and have a look and see if you can tell whereabouts I cropped in. The active track on here is really good. So you can basically go onto the screen and you can set on a 360 degrees clock face where you want the drone to track you, and it does it really good. So I could say, right, I want you to track me at say 11 o'clock, and the drone will then just be off to my center here, and then it will track me whatever I'm on, car, bike, or running, whatever, and it will track me all the time. And then I can just go into the control and go, right, I want you to hit now the 3 o'clock position, and it will just swing around and follow me from here or from the side. You've basically got full control. Whilst that, it's also got the full 360 degrees of sensors. I've never had a problem with them. It just avoids objects really good. It's just like an absolute beast. It's just a shame about where we can fly this and where we can't. And I'll talk about that in a second, but this also comes with the Philip Bloom update, which is the ability to change the speed. So I can go into the settings now, and under say Cine Mode, I want this to be really slow. So as it's flying forwards like this, it's going to be super slow. And I can change this now all the way down to 1 meter per second, which is incredibly slow. You cannot do this on the Mini 3 Pro or the Air 2S at the moment, but you can on the Mavic 3 Classic, which is really good, and it makes for some really good cinematic shots. Just ace. So well done, Philip. And another thing that I've been really enjoying with this, just like the Mavic 3 the last 20 weeks, is the performance of it. So it's really fast, but it's also amazingly strong as well. So I've been flying this in different areas. So for instance, in Mallorca, top of Sacalobra, really high up, strong winds up there, and it just has no problem whatsoever. There was another area in Mallorca, it was over 500 meters high, and again, no problem getting the shots. In the UK here around the Lake District, super windy, tracking me in a car, no problem. It just gives you the confidence that you can take this literally like anywhere in the world where you can fly it and get the performance that you're going to want out of a drone, and not worry it's going to get blown away or your footage is going to be quite shaky, not very good, like some of the mini drones can do. So this gives you that performance. It's like literally, like I said before, a flying tank. So what is the problem? Let's talk about that. Well, it's not the drone itself, it's relating to the CAA. You see, in the UK, we've been on about for quite a long time now about the C1 label coming, and this is going to open up all these restrictions, and we're going to be able to fly this drone where we want. And in Europe, you can. You see, this drone comes with this C1 label attached to it, stamped on. So you can fly this now in the A1 subcategory, which basically is exact same as the mini drones. These drones which are under 250 grams, you can fly in the same. You just can't fly intentionally over uninvolved people. You need to minimize that. But from the UK, they still don't know what day it is. What are the CAA doing? It's so disappointing. So they still don't know what to do. They're still thinking about it. They don't know if it's going to take another few years, another year, another week. It's honestly embarrassing. It really is. So with this, you need to get the A2 qualification to be able to fly this where you want. So it's not a massive problem. It's about £80 or £90. You can do that in a couple of evenings online in your own free time. So I'll link it where I got and did mine from. So that's what I would do. Otherwise, you're going to be flying this in the countryside, and that's not what you want. But anywhere else in different countries around the world where you can fly these bigger drones, the confidence this is going to give you by flying this and not worrying about, is it going to fly away? Is it too windy to fly my drone today? Oh God, you don't have any of that. And the quality coming from the camera, it's got every feature you could want. It's fantastic. So for me personally, I'm really pissed that the CA have done this. This would have been my #1 drone that I fly all of the time, 100%. But in the UK, I'm still flying the mini drones more because I can just fly them in more places. The A2 qualification, you're going to be able to have a 50-meter separation distance from buildings and from people. So that's pretty good, but not as good as what the mini drones give you. So it all depends where you live. If I was living in mainland Spain, Germany, France, I'll just buy this. So to sum it up, I really do like this drone. I've been super impressed with it. Normally 20 weeks later, there's some niggles, like the Mini 3 Pro. This has some problems with it, some niggles, some worries. This I just don't have. It all comes down to where I currently live. So if you like traveling with your drone, if you like traveling around Europe or around the world in different countries, for instance, 3 that come to mind: the Dolomites, Iceland, Hawaii, all spectacular, fantastic places. If I was to travel to any 3 of those and I took the mini drones, I wouldn't be able to fly in a lot of them places I want to go to. I would take this and be able to fly in the wind conditions, in the conditions that are just a bit erratic in those places, and have that confidence. If you don't want to do that, you will just fly in your area, you don't really like traveling a lot, then just pick up one of the mini drones. But I have absolutely loved this over the last 20 weeks. So if you enjoyed this, make sure you like and subscribe. It really just helps the channel out. It's got so much more drone content coming, you won't believe it. And the Mavic 3 Classic, if you want to pick this up, I'll link it at the top of the description. And if you buy through that link, it really does help out with my channel going forward. So I really do appreciate that. So thanks so much in advance if you do pick it up. But yeah, let me know what you think about the Mavic 3 Classic, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye.